في ولاية الشمالية في 3 وفيات، في ولاية نهر النيل 5 وفيات، في ولاية القضاء 6 وفيات، في النيل الأبيض 3 وفيات، في نظاميين 2 من ضمن المتوفيين في هذه العملية الاحتجاجية. الجملة 19.
الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر ولله الحمد.
Just the last few minutes, word that the president of Sudan has stepped down after 3 decades in power. Multiple sources telling us President Omar Al-Bashir has resigned. He is under house arrest. Thousands of protesters camped outside the military headquarters in Khartoum as the world awaits official word from state media. Senior international correspondent Nima Al-Bagher is tracking the latest developments. And Nima, you were just there, actually, sort of undercover, trying to report on these protests. You're from Sudan. This man has been in power most of your life.
Yes, I was 11 when he came to power, and the majority of Sudan's population is under 30. So for most of the country, this is the only thing they have ever known. And yet, in spite of that, they are being, the demonstrators are being very cogent about what it is they want. And they are staying on the streets because what they want is a full transition to civilian authority. They say they don't want anything of the infrastructure of his rule to remain.
So since these protests began, more than 3,000 arrests, several have been killed there. Give us a little sense of who President Al-Bashir is and the type of terror he's inflicted there.
He's an indicted war criminal. He's wanted by the ICC. He used rape as a weapon of war against an uprising in the west of the country. He established torture houses, which was part of what we went to Sudan to investigate, an entire architecture of oppression. And what is really extraordinary is that eventually that yoke breaks. So in spite of that, in spite of the use of live ammunition, people stayed on the streets in spite of the threats. And what has been really interesting to observe is that since the beginning of the process, the army has refused to engage. And clearly they were waiting for the moment when they thought they would become this power broker. Whether the people will allow them to be that remains to be seen.
I mean, what is the hope for those people on the streets? They want a democratic election someday? I mean, you've never voted in your own country in an election.
No, never.
Remarkable.
They want a transition. They want a democratic election. They want the removal of oppressive Sharia and Islamic laws. They want women to be allowed to travel without guardianship laws. They want what they see everybody else has.
Secretaria.